Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live coaching call. My name is Dave Thompson. We'll just wait a couple of minutes till the people find the spot because we're actually going live in the group, not on my own personal page. I just thought we'd keep this nice and cozy and intimate for all our people. Super excited about today's session, guys. I've never done this before. So let me just hope that people are jumping on. Yes, we have our first guest, Patty Ann. Hey, awesome. Very, very happy to have you guys here. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, and I just haven't, and now I have. Matthew Kelly, welcome. Welcome. We'll just hang out and chat, Patty Ann. As you're coming on, guys, can you please just let me know if you can hear me and see me? And if you can, just go, yes, I'm here. Victoria Smith, hello. Awesome to have you. Matt Kelly, he can hear me. There's more guys coming on. Hey, Heidi, welcome. If you can hear me and see me, can you just put in the comments where you are dialing in from today? What part of the world are you from? Just like to get an idea of where people are in the world. Jackie can see me. Audio and visual is mint. Excellent. Matthew Kelly, I bet, has an outstanding internet connection. So, guys, we're just going to wait maybe one more second, and then we'll get started. Karen is in Yeppoon. Oh, I used to live up near there, Karen. I used to live in Boyne Island, just near Gladstone when I was a kid. Victoria Smith is on the Gold Coast. Awesome. Heidi, hey Heidi. We chatted the other day. Heidi is awesome. Patty Ann's on the Gold Coast, the land of silicon. Oh, you're keeping it real down there, Patty Ann. And Jackie Grant's in Melbourne. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we might get started because everyone can hear me. So what I've got you set up on my phone. I've got comments going on the screen here too, so I can see both. And the intention of today's session is Heidi's in Balmain. Awesome. So, all right. So yes, a lot of you guys know me. My name's Dave Thompson. I run the Inspirational Book Writers Retreat. We help people to write, publish, and launch their inspirational books. And the main way that we do that, there's a couple of different ways that we do that. Hey, Jean. Jean Sheehan is a many time book writer with us. So awesome to have you on the call, Jean. And the main way that we help people is we take them away to a tropical paradise island and we help them to write their book in a week and we publish them 6 weeks later. So I'll tell you more about that later, but what I want to focus on in this session, this is really for you. This is I legit want to give you a book map game plan. And this is the thing that we do with all our clients. So if you sign up as a client with us, if you work with us, this is the first point of call where we actually map out the entire book. We get the plan on one page and it's just a brilliant starting point for you to write your book. So I'm super excited to take you all through this. Elizabeth is on the call. Hey, Elizabeth, welcome. So why are we doing this tonight? Well, first of all, book map game plan. Most people get stuck in starting on a book. Would you agree? They have this idea, but somehow the wheels just never get started. But here's the thing. If you can get an effective plan together, welcome to all the new people jumping on. Hello, Jean. If you can get a plan from the get-go, it just makes the process so much easier. So I had this line that I wrote down earlier. It's if you don't plan a book, procrastination will literally eat you. Hey, Rob Cummins. Procrastination will eat you. And the number of stories that I've heard from people where they've had that knock on the shoulder to write their book, either people have said to them, hey, I want to read your story, or I want to know what you know, please write a book. The number of people that have had that tap on the shoulder for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 12 years. So we had one book writer who for 35 years, he knew he needed to do it, and it took him 35 years to say yes. So hopefully with this plan, my intention is that you get the plan on one page and then you're like, right, I don't need to wait 35 years. I don't even need to wait 35 days. I can get started on it right away. So Another reason I'm doing this is something new. Haven't done this before. Haven't shared the stuff with the people. So looking forward to that. And another thing, guys, is I've been doing a lot of work recently on the seasons and studying the seasons and how natural cycles work. And what I found is that the springtime is such a great time for creation. Because think about it, people go inward in winter, they're reflecting, they're often dealing with their stuff. And then as the sun starts to shine, and admittedly, we are, I'm up in Brisbane right now, and anyone kind of north of maybe Newcastle, it's starting to get a little warmer. And admittedly, if you're in Melbourne, it's probably still freezing. I saw there was snow in the Alps even yesterday. So, but the thing is, we're moving into springtime, which is a time of creation. And if you want to write your book with grace and ease, which I suggest you do, yeah, like who wants to grind out their book? I don't think anyone does. If you want to write it with grace and ease, springtime is a fantastic time to do it, especially because then you'll be published in the summer, and the summertime is a time, like think about the lizards in summer. They're showing themselves off. They're exposing themselves. They're marketing. Yeah, so Jackie says, yes, it is still cold in Melbourne, and she does love spring. And yes, very soon it will be spring in Melbourne. So for those of you who are further south in the country, now is a great time to be planning. And that's why we're doing the book map game plan. Yeah, because we're getting in line with everything. So let's get started. Oh, one more thing I just want to say, guys. Like, from my side, I want to give this to... Victoria says, fuck grinding. I'm done with those days. Amen. If you agree with Victoria's comment, just give her a little, like, yes, I agree with that. Because, yeah, we want to create it with grace and ease. We don't want to have to push. You don't want to have to be, disciplining yourself to go up into the attic at 10 p.m. every night and for 1 hour write your book. It's just too hard. Let's make it nice and easy. So my intention, just for total and complete transparency, if I can help you with a great plan, then one of two things is going to happen. Either one, you're going to go off and you're going to rock that plan, and you're going to bring your book out, and that book is going to help so many people. Or two, you're going to get to the end of this and you're going to go, you know what, Dave, I'd love some help implementing that plan, in which case, come and have a chat and we can help you implement it. So that's why we're doing this, guys, because ultimately it's not about you, it's not about me. It's the fact that every single person on this call has something to share, whether it be an inspirational story, a methodology, a set of techniques or principles, or there's something about them that can impact others, that can solve problems, that can raise consciousness, that can uplift a community or greater than that. Ultimately, that's why we're here. Cool. How are we going so far, guys? I've just done a lot of talking. Is everyone following? Are we on board with kind of that frame for today? Can I just get a yes, I'm in for that? And while you're sitting there, just take a nice, big, deep breath, because I know it's a little bit like Thompson coming out hot. Just straight in there. It's part of the creation process. Karen's like, yes, she's down for that. Heidi, Patty, yes. Okay, cool. So people are on board with this philosophy. Awesome. So I'm going to lead you through. Hey, Joshua Ackman's just joined us. Welcome, my friend. Jackie Grant say, hell yes, excellent. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to lead you through the exact process we take our clients through. There's just one more thing we need to do before that. Carla Williams is on. Rob Cummins. Rob. How are you, my friend? How are you? Awesome. Hey, Josh. Awesome to have everyone coming on. Claire Elizabeth D. Claire was on our very, very first book retreat and wrote a sensational book on the One Breast Goddess. Look up Claire. She is a superstar. Have a lot of time for her. Annie B's just launched her book as well. She's about to launch another book, and then she's using this session to write her third book. So that's awesome. Glad to have you in the hood with us tonight, Annie. Okay, guys, so a couple of agreements before we get started today. So, okay, these agreements will help you get the most out of this process. So number one, let's agree to remove distractions for the hour. Is that cool? Can I just get a yes if you're up for that? I know The Bachelor's on, but don't watch it yet. Turn it off, okay? Let's focus. Let's keep our attention on the prize here because we're going to create some epic plans. And if we all agree that, yep, we're in, then we'll create some magic. Karen's yes. I'm getting a few yeses. Carla's in. Great. Josh is in. Awesome. Okay. Number two. Claire's in. Claire's in for that one. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Jackie, yes. Everyone's coming in yeses. Love it. Heidi's like, she's turned everything off. Carla's 100% off, except for this. Awesome. Matt Kelly's all in. Love this, guys. Can feel the heat coming through. Rob Cummins. All right. Next one. Super important. Lean in to the tough spot. Okay? I want us all to agree that we're going to lean in when it gets a little bit hard. If it gets hard, it might not get hard. Okay? A major reason why people don't write books is because, hey, Davina Davidson, a major reason why people don't write books is because when they feel a little bit of like resistance, they stop. And they might stop for 10 years. So can we agree to not be that person? And as we go through the process tonight, to, if something comes up, just to like note it. So what I'm going to do, we're going to take you through a warm-up, and then we're going to go through a 7-level process to create your plan. And what I want you to notice is as we go through the 7 levels, if there's any resistance, just note it. And that will be an area for inquiry later. There's probably an area where we need to add a bit more consciousness, add a bit more focus, bring more clarity, get some answers. Karen's good to lean in. Thank you so much. So if you're good to lean in, yep, Jackie's in to lean in. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Because it's really this level of commitment where you say to yourself, you know what? The story that I've run in the past about why I can't do my book, I'm just going to let that go, and I'm in this time. Hey, Cheryl. You're awesome, Cheryl. Welcome. I met Cheryl on the weekend. Okay, so we've got a lot of people leaning in. Victoria Smith leaning in. Love it. Okay, agreement number 3 is we're going to move fast. Patty Ann is in for that. Thank you. We're going to move fast. So perfection is the enemy of execution. Hey, Glenn Azar. You'd know that one. Jai Watson, awesome. Welcome. We're just about to get started. We're just setting the agreements before we dive in to the actual session. So, number 3, move fast. Perfection is the enemy of execution. You see, we have this idea on Book Retreat that really serves our book writers. So think about this, guys. People are coming to the island to be with us for a week, and they create a book. And it happens every time. If you follow the process, it works. So why does it work? Well, we have this idea of getting to 65% complete as fast as possible. So Jai's all in. Awesome. Think about the example of if you were molding a clay pot. Okay, I'm not like handy in that way, but if I was making a clay pot, the first thing you'd want to do is get the structure, get the bulk of it down, get to 65% complete, because then what happens is you have something visceral, you have something tangible, you have a thing. Because it's almost like that tipping point with a book of going, yeah, I've got an idea to write a book, I'm thinking about writing a book. Hey, Phoebe, welcome. But until you get the bulk of it down on the page, sometimes it can just stay up here. For those spiritual people, we're talking 6th, 7th chakra. It's just an idea. We're just mentally going over and over and over, and we're not bringing it down into a real thing. So when we get to 65%, it's a physical thing. So can we agree to move fast? And as we go through this process, just literally put something down and go for it. Is that cool? Awesome. 4th agreement, I'll just throw it to you guys now while I'm getting some yeses. If you can just put in a yes, I'm in for that. My style. Okay, in this session, Carla's a yes, AJ's a yes, thank you. In this session, I'm going to go fast. I'm going to be dynamic if you haven't already worked that out. And things might get a little crazy and a little weird. So I hope that's okay with you. The reason for that, guys, well, one, I like to express myself. But two, if I'm a little bit crazy and weird, then it gives everyone in the space permission to really go for it and express themselves. Because that's what I see in books, particularly these days, in the way the market is right now, is the more of your heart and soul and essence and flavor that you can put into the book, the more it's going to vibrate and attract and become magnetic and become like that lighthouse. Karen says, you can't get weird enough to freak me out. That's awesome. I love that. Cool. So there's permission for things to get a bit crazy. I love that. Because guys, like, who's ever sat down to write their book and they're getting into it and then like the judgment comes up where it's like, oh, I don't know if what I wrote was good. And it's like, oh, we need to just put that voice, wrap that voice in a burrito and like park it out in the backyard for a little bit. So are we up for wrapping judgment in a burrito and putting it in the backyard? Patty Ann says, bring on the cray-cray. Excellent. All right. Those are the agreements, guys. If you're not in for those, feel free to leave now. That's totally fine. Rob Cummins is cutting loose. But it looks like everyone's staying. So that is fantastic. That means we're in. That means we're ready to rock. Okay, let's get down to the business. So, all right, warm up. Well, we're pretty warm already because I've been coming in hot, but let's play the warm up. So, when we book right, we really want to set a great space. In order to do that and get the juices flowing, we're going to play a little bit of word association. Okay, we're going to play a bit of a fun game, and I'd really love for you guys to participate and be interactive here. And we're going to do 3 rounds of this. So I'm going to throw you a word and then another word and then another word. And I'm going to throw you one word. And then what I'd love you to do, very first thing that comes up, type it in the comments. Okay? Whatever that may be. So it is the Inspirational Book Writers Retreat. We are writing inspirational, inspiring books that solve problems, that uplift consciousness, or solve problems in the community, that uplift the world. So I want to know the word inspiration, particularly in regards to your book. What does that mean to you? Just first thing that comes up when you hear the word inspiration, type it in the comments now and I'll read out a few. Let's get the juices going in this space that we're here now. And I will take a moment to have a sip. Courage. Karen says courage. Awesome. What else have we got, guys? It's super important. The more you play on this, you will get the juices going. Love. Jai says love. Patty Ann says life-changing. Awesome. Empowering. Yep. Courage. Heidi says courage. Excellent. Joy, says Joshua. Yeah. Let's get these feelings going. Elizabeth says higher consciousness. Awesome. Chiara. Hey, Chiara. Dreams. Victoria Smith, creative flow, the words coming easy, excellent. Rob Cummins, the word why comes up. Transformation for Claire. Awesome, guys. Love this. Jai, wisdom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Carla, never giving up. Whew, you guys are going all in. Guy, living big. Jai's power. Awesome. Jai, energy. Great, great, great. Okay, so we've got the juices flowing on that one. Thank you all. We're going to go to the second warm-up now. So the second word association, I want to know what comes up for you when I say the word creativity. Just first thing, let's go. What comes up? Creativity. What do people got? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Innovation. Awesome. Thank you, Karen. Fun. Yes. Carla. In the zone. Yeah. Unleash. Yes. Silence. Nice, Heidi. Artistry. Yeah, I love that. Letting loose, says Jackie. Passion, says Davina. Soul, says Patty Ann. Oh, these are great, guys. Jai says writing. Jai says freedom. I love this. Freedom. Freedom coming up as a theme. Yes. Jackie Grant. Freedom. Inspiration. Love it, guys. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much. Let's let it flow. Tap into the power. Yeah. Tap into the creative flow. Ownership. Yeah. Super, super nice. Love all of this stuff, guys. Let's go to the next one now. So this is the final warm-up activity. Josh, you are Ackman says expression. Love that. That's exactly what you're going to be doing in a book. That indeed. All right. Final word. So far we've done inspiration. We've done creativity. These are great kind of resources and concepts to bring with us on the book map planning session. The third word, another word that's very important to bring with us on the journey, is the word productivity. So I want to know, what does productivity mean to you? Just let it run, whatever comes up. Let's go. We'll take a few. Productivity. What are we working with? Just pop it in the comments. Focus. Yes. So interesting. We've had the flow. We've got like expanded with the inspiration. We've got the flow with the creativity. And now we're like, yes. Matt Kelly says immediately. Joshua Ackman says discipline. Yes. Getting shit done. Yep. Heidi says output. That's it. That's it. Patty Ann says consistency. When we combine the creative with the yes, it's the perfect mix. We've got some great ones here. Output, says Elizabeth. Discipline, says Chiara. Discipline. Yep. Focus. Output. I love that. And if Victoria, lots done in little time. It's perfect. Guy Newman, welcome. Getting it done. Absolutely. Jackie Grant, taking action, achieving the outcome. Love this. Jai, accomplish. Guys, this is great stuff. And if any of you saw my post the other day about spirituality being an excuse for not writing your book, there's some awesome ones coming in here. What do we got? Jai says success. Rob, boots and all. Carla, time management. Yes, definitely. If you guys saw my post the other day about spirituality getting in the way as an excuse, then you'd understand that what's actually happening for those people that are using that as an excuse. They're perhaps getting stuck in the creativity and they're not combining it with the I'm doing it. Yeah, can you kind of feel that? They're like up here, but there's nothing coming down. There's none of this. Yeah. And it's not, yeah, Patty Ann, love that post. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. It's not, life isn't all about this, but when you combine it, and it doesn't even have to be like that hard. It can just be like, I'm doing it. See the eyes? It can just be that committed decision to go, you know what? I'm going to step forward confidently in the way of my dreams. And right now that means writing a book. Okay. And then we're going to combine that with the creativity, do so in a container that has grace and ease. And we're going to produce some magic, some absolute magic. So thank you so much for that, guys. All right, we're super charged up. So let's get into the book map process. So what I want you guys to do is hopefully you've got a pen and paper or some type of maybe an iPad or a computer or something for some notes. So normally in a session with a client, I would take these notes one-on-one and then send them to our new book writer. But today you're going to take your own notes. So I'm going to take you through a 7-stage process. We're going to start at the highest chunk and we're going to work our way down into the more specifics. And the key things that we're going to look at in this session, and this is where it gets real, is we're going to look at what's your purpose for the book, what's your vision for the book, what's your message, so that's kind of a title, subtitle, branding type of conversation. And then we're going to look at the structure. So the structure being, how do I lay out this book so that it feels good and it makes sense? Okay. And what I've noticed just before we dive in is that most people get stuck on one of these levels, and usually the majority would get stuck at either the message, so how do I package it, what do I put on the title, how do I position it, or they get stuck at the structure level, okay? So we're going to spend, wherever we need to spend time, we will spend time there, and we will clarify each of the areas so that you've got a plan that you can use. So is everyone on board for what we're about to do? Because we're literally about to start this thing. So can I just get some yeses or some likes or something just to let me know that you are in and you haven't bailed to go watch The Bachelor and ready to rock? Yes, awesome. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Davina. Thank you, guys. Jackie, Annie, awesome. On board. Awesome. And if you're not on board, that's fine too. You know, Matt Kelly's in. If you're not on board, that's fine too. And I just want to say something on this point. Oh, great! Thank you, Victoria and Elizabeth and Patty Ann. Thank you, guys. I just want to say, why have I? Let's talk about this for a second, because this is kind of directly related to how I would coach you to write an introduction for your book. So why have I, in this session so far, given people opportunities to opt out? Why have I done that? Well, yeah, if you guys have got some answers, throw them in the comments, and I'll just share a few thoughts now. So you want to do the same thing when you're writing a book. The reason is because you want your book to be an opt-in or opt-out kind of piece. Because here's the thing, guys, if they read your book and they opt in, they're going to opt in really hard. They're going to be what's called a raving fan. And Josh says you don't want time wasters. Karen, increases buy-in. Exactly it. You want the people who are going to go, that person, that guy, that girl, that answer, the way they do it, I dig it, I'm in, I want it, give it to me, let's talk. That's what you want. And the people that aren't up for that, it's cool. Let them go watch The Bachelor. That's fine. Because if they did work with you, then they'd probably be a pain in the butt. Yeah? And no one wants a pain in the butt. We just want awesome people. We want to work with awesome people, right? Okay, let's keep going. That was a little tangent side note, which sometimes comes up, which I just love to share with you guys. So let's get started. Purpose. This is the first starting point. So we're looking at purpose. What we're looking at here is, why are you writing your book? Like, what's the big motivation? And I'm just going to rattle off some things. And what I'd love you guys to do is, if it resonates for you, write it down on your page. And if you feel to share on the comments, share as well. So there's a stack of reasons why you could be wanting to write your book. Some are personal reasons, and some are professional reasons. And sometimes people have both personal and professional reasons why they want to write a book. If I had to say, out of all the people that we've worked with, which is we've been going 5 years now, we've done 75 books. One of the biggest reasons that comes up time and time again is the people that come to us, they're there because they want to make an impact. They see their book as a tool for reaching many, many people rather than maybe just doing one-to-one work or one to small groups. A book can reach many people. And yes, there are, guys, there are really huge business benefits to writing a book. And I could go on about them absolutely all day. But the fact of the matter is, so let's have a look here. Karen's reasons for writing her book: to serve more people, to position self as an expert. Absolutely. It's a huge thing, the positioning and the credibility, as well as the legacy and the impact. So legacy and impact and credibility and positioning, two massive reasons to write a book. Because think about the history of books. So interesting story. A couple of years back, before I started book writing, I coached rugby at the Patora Royal School in Northern Ireland, Inniskillen. This was the school that 400 years ago, Oscar Wilde, the great author, he went to this school. Now think about back in those times, book writing was only reserved for the elite few. Yeah, most people couldn't read or write. Only the most educated could, and then even if you were educated, you couldn't necessarily publish because there was limited access to publishing. That's all changed these days, but what hasn't changed, that the access has changed, but what hasn't changed is the mindset of culture and humanity, whereby someone that writes a book is held in very, very high esteem in culture, in society. If I know some of you here have written book, have told people that you're writing a book, just notice the reception that you get. Yeah, people are like, oh, you're writing a book. You know, Jackie says, make an impact. And Jackie says, an additional item to add to my coaching and my programs. Absolutely. So, books are like, guys, the thing I love about books is they can lead you wherever you want to go. Yeah. If you want to use your book as a lead magnet and bring people, like have it as a, hey, here, read my book, and if you dig this, let's do business. That's a brilliant reason to do it. Yeah, so we're getting some answers through here. Be an expert in my field, reconnect to my heritage, break down. Yeah, Patty Ann, I love Patty Ann's has definitely got that personal element to it. And I'd have to say, guys, that a lot of people, it's hot work tonight, isn't it? A lot of people, like even if you're coming in here going, I want to write my book for business reasons because I want to grow my business, I want to be seen as the expert, I want to go to the next level. It's also really important that we acknowledge the personal meaning behind a book. I found a lot of people, their first book is a very healing, cathartic process. It doesn't have to be, but often it is. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. And thank you for sharing. Patty Ann. So, all right, I hope you've got your purpose there. Does everyone have, if you've got a purpose, at least one purpose down, just hit a like or a comment or a thumbs up or something just to let me know, and we'll drop down one more level of specificity, if that's cool. Awesome. Karen's, yep, cool. All right, let's keep going. So let's drop down into vision. Okay, let's drop down into vision. So we're getting a bit more specific now. All right, we're getting a bit more specific, and you'll see that kind of as we go down, my tone and my energy will get more precise and perhaps a bit more grounded because you can kind of feel as we bring the idea down, it's getting more grounded, it's becoming more real. Okay? So when I talk about vision, what I mean is, what's your evidence for success? So I want you to imagine now, and if you want to, you can close your eyes, take a big deep breath in, and imagine the book that you want to write is already written, it's already published, it's in your hands right now, you can feel it, and then I want you to imagine that book out in the world. What are you seeing? Are you speaking at conferences and that book is on the seat of every participant in the 500-seat auditorium? Is it up on your website as a downloadable, bringing you leads and leads and leads and leads and leads, and you just check your Gmail and you see a visual of all these leads that have come in from people that have come through your website and downloaded your book? Is it your book on Amazon, seeing it on Amazon, perhaps beating some of your childhood favorites that you've always looked up to, like Paulo Coelho or Tony Robbins or whoever it may be? Is it people emailing you? Yeah, Carl has turned it into a movie, of all the things, potentially. Is it that you're receiving emails from people congratulating you on your work? Is it that you launch your book and then, from all the people and the attention that the book gathers, you then launch your product or your program and you do $100,000 in program sales right after your launch, like a number of our book writers have done? Particularly Dane Thomas, guys. There's a case study on our website. If I know many of you are already on that list, Dane Thomas, very good friend of mine. He's written 5 books with us. When he launched Clear Your Shit, that was his strategy. That was the name of his book, Clear Your Shit. Launched the book, did 1,000 copies in 48 hours, and then within 2 weeks of that launch, sold $100,000 worth of his practitioner training program. If you want that case study, don't go now, but go later, onto the website, download it. It's a 45-minute interview. He gives just everything. I would highly suggest you get that. Jackie says she wants to run workshops and having it on her website. Absolutely. So, and guys, don't limit yourself. A question that I always ask people at this level is what if this book led to your wildest dreams coming true? Like, what would that be? What would be happening? Yeah, where would you love this book to take you? Because, guys, like 5 years, 75 books, I've seen what happens to people who write books. I mean, I don't know what happens to people who write books in other programs, but in our program, when someone writes a book, it opens the door to the next level. So Karen says a TED Talk. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're doing a TED Talk and you don't have a book, they kind of go together, right? Absolutely. We had an awesome comment come in here. I'll just see. Joshua, my book is leading me to be invited to speak at conferences and workshops and work with more people one-on-one. Awesome. Awesome. Because that's the thing, guys. A book, like one of the ways you can use it is like the golden handshake. So when a book plonks on a desk, it gets noticed. So in 2015, we had a book writer, Agostino, fantastic guy, works in corporate in Melbourne, in risk management. And he came to us, he wrote a book, it became a #1 Amazon bestseller, and it was a bestseller in his category for like 4 months after his launch. And what he said to me was, Dave, like that was the ebook. He said, Dave, I actually probably don't need to sell that many copies of the physical book because I just need to get that book. I just need to plonk it on the desk of a handful of important people in Collins Street in Melbourne, get myself some interviews, and I'll be set with contracts for the next 5 years. Because the fact of the matter is, a good-looking book, written well, plonked on the desk of the right person can open the door to wherever you want to go because of the credibility. So, I just love telling that story because yes, he was selling ebooks on Amazon and he was #1 in his category for ages, but I think he only did like 50 or something paperbacks or hardcovers, and that's all he needed. So different strategies for different industries, and at the same time, I know that there's loads of people that in our program. Like Jean, she does a lot of physical books because her market just loves the physical books. That just happens to be her space, and she also did a stack load of ebooks as well with her launch earlier this year, and 3 books went to Amazon #1 in the one session for Jean. So guys, I hope you've got something down for evidence of success. So, are we okay to drop down one more level now into the message? Is that cool? Just give me some sort of signal that you're there. I can see that everyone's hanging around, which is awesome. So we've obviously kept procrastination wrapped up in the burrito outside. That's fantastic. I love that. Yep, cool. All right, let's keep going. So message. What is the message for your book? So I'll give you a bit of a briefing. And what we might do here, guys, is we might do a little bit of coaching, and I'll field some questions. If someone has any specific questions about kind of their title, their subtitle, or if they've got a working title. So if you think it's like if you've got something, I would call that a working title. So happy to play here and do some live coaching if someone has a title. I'll give you a few pieces first, like a bit of a briefing and an idea of how I think about this level. So this is about message. This is about expression. I want you to think about your message like a billboard. Yeah, so for those of you in Melbourne, you're going across the Balti Bridge, there's those big billboards, right? And usually there's a visual and a set of colours, and there's a couple of words, right? And there might be some smaller words and maybe some other symbols and maybe the brand logo, but the main thing is there's a couple of words that are up in lights. Yeah? They're up in lights. So I want you to start to think about what words you would put up in lights for your book. And I'll give you another story that'll kind of give you more context for this, for how I think about this. So I want you to imagine that you are in a crowded, well, not a crowd, you're in a marketplace. Imagine you're in Morocco, where there's the street vendors along both sides. You know, there's the chicken shop, there's the right next to the haberdashery, right next to the tailor, you know, right next to the school supplies. And then there's this central marketplace, and there's a milk crate in the center of the marketplace. And it's your time on the milk crate. You get to stand up on the platform. It's your time. You've been invited up there. And you've been given a piece of paper. And you've been given a pen. And you get to write your message on the sign, stand up on the milk crate, and yell out to the marketplace at the top of your voice, and they're all paying attention, and you say, "Hear ye, hear me. This is what I stand for. This is my message. If you agree, then we're about to leave in 5 minutes for this destination because we're going to get people these results. Follow me." And what you become in that moment is a lighthouse for people with problems, with pain, who are unsure, who are confused about what to do. By stepping onto that podium, by putting your message up, you become a leader, and that's where the authority comes from. Yeah? So I would encourage you to make the message clear and simple, and use just a couple of words for the title. The subtitle can be longer. That's totally fine. I've seen people do like 20, 25 words for a subtitle. That's totally cool, because what you're doing with a subtitle is you can often pack keywords into the subtitle. Great for the Amazon search engines. So anyone searching that topic will find you. But yeah, certainly for the title, what I'd go for is short bursts. So who has something they would like me to play with? Just put it in the comments. And you know what, guys? I might grab a couple of books, because we've got our Inspirational Book Writers Hall of Fame just up here on my left, on your right. I might just grab a couple of books just to show you some examples of the titles and unpack why I like them and why they work, and hopefully that'll give you guys some examples. And it also, anyone that has a working title, please put it in the comments so that I can give you a little bit of coaching. Jackie has a working title. Karen's got a working title. Josh has a working title. Awesome. Okay, I'll get those books in a second. Let's have a look at Josh's. Joshua Ackman, working title, Lessons in Sex and Intimacy for Men. I like it. It's a very, very good start. What does it need? Potentially, that could be the subtitle. Potentially. And again, with title and subtitle, guys, I'll get permission for this from the whole group. We're going to play. Yeah, we're going to play. So there's no right or wrong. Remember, the whatever that thing was is wrapped up outside in a burrito. So we're in a very safe space here. We're in the group. We're going to throw around some ideas. I'm going to say whatever comes off the top of my head, because that's how my creative process works. So let's play. Lessons in Sex and Intimacy for Men. I feel like, especially if that's your niche, my man, you could come in like with a really bold, powerful, maybe one word as the title. Lessons in Sex and Intimacy for Men. I'd love to know, Joshua, what pain the men experience. I'd love to dig into that a little bit. I feel like there's just one word that you could put as like the main piece, and then lessons in sex and intimacy for men as the subtitle. That's just my initial thoughts. Let's see. I think you made another comment below. Yeah, Joshua, let me know what you think about that. Come back to me and we'll play some more. I'll just have a look at Karen's. So Karen says, working title, Fix Your Man Picker. Why you've been choosing partners who hurt you. Ooh. I like it. I think it needs, I'm not sure about the word picker. Fix your man picker. I mean, that could work if you had a really awesome graphic. Why I love the subtitle. Why you've been choosing partners who hurt you. I really like that because people can relate to that because lots of people do that. They pick partners that hurt them. I wonder what I think we could flip that main title a little and have a play with that. I'm just going to scroll down. I think you made another comment. We've got a few others coming in here. And guys, what I want to say about titles and subtitles is please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, okay? I'm Dave Thompson. I'm not you, right? It's not, I don't go by any particular dogmas. Like we're not a traditional publishing house in the sense that we're going to see what you write and then slash and burn it and red pen it and be like, oh no, that's not proper English. We are not going to do that. That is not our style. All our editors, all our team, our whole philosophy is to honor the natural voice of the author. And what that means is that we really encourage you to back yourself, and if it feels good and aligned for you, do it. Yeah? Now, out of the 75 books, we've had a couple, maybe 2 or 3 book writers that have released books where I personally was like, I think it's about 80% there. I would have tweaked it a different way. But that was me, okay? In their heart and soul and mind, the title and subtitle combination that they came up with absolutely rocked for them. And they were so solid behind it. They were like, yes, this is it. And they claimed it. This is the key thing, is that when you get to your title and subtitle combo, is that you claim it and you go, this is it. Because you're the one that's going to be out there at the networking events, at the speaking events, on Facebook, meeting people in person, telling them, hey, my name's such and such, and this is my book. It's called da 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 da. Yeah? So the level of confidence that you hold in your title, that's the key thing. That's the key thing. Anything that I'm offering here, this is playtime. This is playtime, okay? We've got some more coming in, so let's have a bit more of a play. And anyone that I'm giving a few thoughts to as they come through, please feel free to circle back with a reply comment or a reply thought. So Jackie Grant says she has a working title at the moment, not sure how to put it together. So you haven't posted it yet for us, Jackie? Maybe it's in one of these comments below. Heidi. Her middle name is Courage. And I think, Heidi, have you posted your subtitle? Because it rocks. Guys, I spoke to Heidi the other day. Because here's the thing, a title and a subtitle, when they go together, there's like this hum and this ring to it. So Heidi, if you could post your subtitle as well as your title, like post them both together in one comment so everyone can see, because yours is really awesome. And here's the other thing, guys, with a kind of a book like Heidi's is all about self-leadership and encouraging that self-leadership within people who are in organizations and in teams. That sort of combo, Heidi, with your title, your subtitle, perhaps a picture of you on the front cover, I know we didn't really speak about that because it was kind of a down the track thing, but if you put a title, a subtitle, and the right imagery together, that's when you get a book that gets judged very favorably by its cover. Okay, you want those three things lining up. Does that make sense? All right. I know I'm like waving my finger here. I'm like, woo. Sorry. Hope. All right, let's see what else we got here. Elizabeth, going under to be on top. Cool. So Elizabeth, guys, that's the sort of title that could work as a title. I'd need to know what the subtitle is, and I'd also need to know the ideas for the imagery to go with it, and then I would check that against who's the target market. Okay? And that's kind of how I would play with that. So if you can give us, if you have a subtitle, Elizabeth, or if you can give us a little bit more about who you work with, or who it's aimed at, that would be awesome. Jackie Grant, bariatric surgery, creating a can-do mindset. I like it. You know why? Sometimes this is the best way to do it, guys. If you're in a particular niche, yeah, if you're Jackie does health and wellness coaching for people going through bariatric surgery. If you're in a particular niche, sometimes the best thing is to just put the actual what it is in the title. Because people going through bariatric surgery, what are they going to search? They're going to go on Amazon, go on Google, or go on Amazon if they're looking for books, and they're going to go bariatric surgery, and up yours is going to come. So that often makes a lot of sense. Like Agostino, who I spoke about before, he was an expert in the field of vendor management, and it was so awesome. No one knew what it was, but once we had Agostino in the community, then everyone knew what vendor management was. So that was the name of the niche. So sometimes just making it that simple can really, really work. All right. Let's see what else we've got. Patty Ann says, I hope I pronounce this right, Patty Ann. I believe this is a Maori word, Te Karanga. And you've written it in lowercase. You wrote it in uppercase to me in a private message. I remember that yesterday. So powerful. Just that difference, lowercase to uppercase. Hopefully that can still take the message. Guys, with something like that, with a message of Patty Ann's book, Te Karanga. So on the unless you're Maori or from New Zealand, you're probably not going to understand that. So if the target market is broader than New Zealand, you're going to need a really specific subtitle to go with that. Yeah, that really says what the book's about, who it's aimed at, and what the results are. Okay? Because I think this is sometimes the trap that people get into. They get attached to some idea of what they want to call it, but the reality is it doesn't say what it is. It doesn't say what it is. But I think Patty Ann's, if Patty Ann did a subtitle there that really told the people what it's about, I think that, and then the imagery kind of drew people in, I think that would be really, really powerful. And I'll just share a little idea here that I really like from a mentor of mine, Taki Moore. He's got this idea in business that you just want to make, and it really applies to book titles. He says you want to make things like snakes on a plane. Just let that sink in for a little bit. You want to make it so it's like snakes on a plane. There's snakes, there's a plane, and the snakes are on the plane. You want to make it super, super simple. In your title, you want to tell people exactly what it's about. Does that make sense? Or did I just trip everyone out with a snakes and a plane metaphor? You want to keep it really grounded and just say, hey, my book, we've had people say, my book's about sex. Like, that's how they describe it. Everyone wants to know about sex. Simple. I remember hearing an interview with Esther Perel. She's done a TED Talk. She's a relationship coach. She recently released a book on infidelity and betrayal. And I can't even remember what the title was, but she would just say, my book's about infidelity. And everyone would just be like, oh, tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah, so just often simplicity can really work. Okay, let's keep going. Josh says, appreciate it. Chiara, I hope I'm saying your name right. The Healing Journey. That's nice. I wonder if that's a title or a subtitle. That feels like definitely a building block. And then we would paint around it. So, who's it for? I'm also feeling that potentially that is a bit more of a personal story. And that's totally fine too, guys. Like, some of you will be writing what I'd call inspirational life stories that are packed with lessons, like drawing out the lessons from your story for others. And something like the healing journey in that would be very appropriate. Let's keep going. Claire Elizabeth D, the 12-minute write, unlock the artist within. Yeah, it's great. 12 minutes, it's fast, there's a time limit. Like, anytime you can put time in your title or subtitle, particularly subtitle, I think that just elevates it because it makes it more real. So I want to just show you a book. Give me 1 second, I'll reach. So this is one of our book writers. She released in December last year, so about 7 or 8 months ago, Zoe Swain, and her book was called Unfuck Yourself, and is basically for getting unstuck. And her subtitle was Feeling Fucked to Fully Free in 4 weeks. So you see, she put 4 weeks, she put a time on the subtitle. It just becomes that much more tangible. Can you kind of feel it a bit more when someone says, yeah, there's a time for it? Does that make sense? So I really like that, Claire. Thank you. Joshua Ackman, fix your man radar. I like that. I like that. I like that. Fix your man radar. So I wonder what the combo is now. I'm just going to scroll up to see what else Joshua was saying. Oh, was that for Karen? Because that could really work. Karen, that's a nice suggestion. Fix your man radar. Oh, yeah. Karen's got another one. Get a cracker up your ass, stop procrastinating, and begin living. Oh, can you feel, guys, there's like a dynamic ism? I just made up a word in that type of title. Particularly if you're solving someone's problem, you want to have a little bit of energy in what you're doing. If you're writing a more like spiritual awakening book or something like that, you're going to want more of a kind of still and peaceful, warm kind of feeling to the book. But if it's something like get a cracker up your ass, stop procrastinating, begin living, then yeah, absolutely get some energy behind it. Rob Cummins, get together. Suggest come together. So it's probably a book about unity. I'd need a little bit more, Rob, to give you a bit more flavor on that. Heidi says leadership lessons on how to turn disaster into determination, pressure into performance, and rage into resilience. So I love that as a subtitle, Heidi, because you're telling people what they're getting. If they've got disaster, they can turn that into determination. If they've got pressure, which a lot of people in leadership positions will be feeling, they can turn that into performance. And if they're raging, they can turn that into resilience. So anytime you put in a subtitle or a title a result or the fact that you're leading people on a journey, outstanding stuff, because then you can say, hey, this book will get you from A to be. All right, let's keep rolling. I've completely lost track of time, guys, but we will keep going. Jai Watson, and we will get to structure in just a moment. So I bet there's some people who are like, how am I going to lay out my book? We're getting to that right now as soon as we get through these last comments. So Jai says, the empowered gut. Ooh, heal your gut, heal your life. That's nice, man. You could put, I'm seeing like on the front cover, I'm seeing like the empower, no, I think gut would be bigger than empowered. The empowered gut, because gut health is a niche. It's a very big niche. Heal your gut, heal your life. You could potentially play with making that more specific. Like, I wonder if there's something that you could do to like add maybe some time in there, or I wonder if that particular book, if you're targeting it at any particular group of people. So the empowered gut, heal your gut, heal your gut in 21 day. The ultimate guide to healing your gut in 21 days for busy professionals. I don't know. I don't feel like that's yours, but I just wonder if you could play with it and play with like who the book's for and a bit of a time period on that. So yes, Heidi's put it all together. Her middle name is Courage, leadership lessons. I mean, it's nice, Heidi. It's nice. I would put that with a photo of you, I think. Were you thinking of going on the cover? Because I think that would work well together, those three. Cool. Kiara, we'll keep going, guys, because I think we've got a lot of good stuff so far. Kiara, the healing journey, how to listen to the messages of your body and change your life. No, I like it. I'd need to know a little bit more about what's in the book because this is what I do, guys, is I'll listen to a title, I'll feel it, like it's very intuitive for me, as well as like does it make sense? I'll feel it, and then I'll cross-check it with like what your goals are and who you're aiming the book at, and then that's kind of like feeling it, and then there's like a criteria that I'll go through to check it. So feeling wise, that feels aligned with who you are. I'd need to check it against the criteria of who's the target market, who you're aiming at, what are your goals with the book, that sort of thing. Oh, Karen, fix your man radar, how to stop choosing toxic relationships. And I wonder if there's and start having great, wild, passionate sex or something. That's super nice. Fix your man radar's like, whew, it's right. That's an elevated, that's up there. Patty Ann translates the call. Yep, Patty Ann, makes sense. Thank you, guys. Love the simplicity. Yes for Karen. All right, let's get to the bottom. Listen to the call within. Listen to the call within, yeah. So T. Karanga, listen to the call within. The guide to transforming whatever you're transforming in that book. I think you're definitely getting closer there, Patty Ann. And a lot of your messaging, Patty Ann, would come through the design of the cover and the images and the feelings and the words and the emotion that comes through on those tones. So remember, guys, those three things: title, subtitle, with the imagery and the graphics matched up to your goals and the criteria that you've got that you're looking to hit, including your target market doesn't match. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. So it's both a intuitive felt sense and a logical check as well. So emotional and logical. Awesome, guys. Wow. That was awesome. We've done some really great work. How has this been for you guys? Did you get some good stuff out of that little message, session? Just give me a something. And whatever the thing is still in the burrito outside, which is great. And right now we are going to jump into the structure part of the book map. So, let's all take it. Joshua said very helpful, awesome. Elizabeth, absolutely helpful, awesome. Jackie, yes. Thank you, guys. I'm glad. Patty Ann says it's been gangster AF for all the cool kids. You know what that means. Great advice. Thank you guys. Definitely helpful. Awesome, awesome, awesome. As I said, I want to give you guys as much as I can on this call so that you can get yourself a bookmap game plan, and then from this moment go off and write your book, or if you want help implementing it, we can talk more. I can help you further with it. But I just know that the people that this book writers thing attracts are amazing people with big hearts, with big messages, who really want to do good in the world, spread their message, make money, and help a lot of people. So thank you for playing with me on that. Okay. We are going to switch things up just before we jump into structure. So I'd like you to take a big deep breath and open your arms like an eagle and flap your wings because we're about to fly. And what is an eagle's favorite drink? And this is going to be hilarious because I'm going to be the only one seeing it. You guys are going to be doing it this year at your house, and I won't even be able to see. So I'm going to look like a goose. But an eagle's favorite drink is cacao. Cacao. How cool. And yes, I do like cacao. I hope you do too. All right. Let's keep rolling. Oh, we lost a few people there. They didn't like the cacao. Oh, well. Things just got a bit too crazy, didn't it? Okay. Structure. Let's look at structure. So, guys, this is, man's got jokes. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where we're really laying out the pieces. So I'll say a couple of things first. Number one, there's no hard and fast rules for how you structure your book. You can have it as 10 chapters, 12 chapters, 8 chapters, 5 chapters. You could do it in 3 parts. Yeah, you could do your book in 3 parts. You could do 35 micro chunks like David McCoy, one of our very first book writers in 2014 did. He did 35 micro chapters. If anyone's ever read David Data, The Way of the Superior Man, his is like that. It's like there's like just a tiny piece of writing, but 35 times. So what I'm saying is there's no dogmas, there's no hard and fast rules around how to structure it. The approach that I like to take is I want it to feel good and make sense. Yeah, have you noticed that that's a big theme out of everything that I've been talking about here? Is I want it to feel good and make sense. So the way I think about structure is often we have a lot of ideas. Yeah, who has a lot of ideas for their book? Just give me a sign if you've got lots and lots of ideas. Definition of micro chapter, just a tiny piece of content, maybe a page worth. Jackie just had a question. So yeah, there's people there that have got lots of ideas. The way that I group them together is I would do it like meal prep. So has anyone ever like just cooked up a whole heap of stuff and then put it in takeaway containers ready for the week ahead? You know, like you cook up the chicken, you cook up the rice, you cook up the broccoli, and Jai's like, yes, too many ideas. So continuing on with the meal prep metaphor, you cook it all up and then you put it together in a way that makes sense. So in every container, there's chicken, there's broccoli, there's rice. That feels good, that makes sense. Okay. Would you put ice cream with the broccoli? You probably wouldn't. Yeah, you probably wouldn't unless it was a really eccentric book. Yeah, hey Melissa. You probably wouldn't do it. So what I'm saying is, and often this will be a way to start, is take your pad and write down all your ideas. Brainstorm all of them. Get them all on the page. And then, I'll pull out my red pen so you can see it a bit better. So you've got all the ideas. And then group them together. Yeah? Group them together And then what you'll find is, so if we're using this, I've got one group here, I've got another group here, I've got another group here, I've got another group here, and I've got another group here. So I've got 5 chunks or 5 containers of ideas. Does this make sense? Yeah? Now here's the thing. Whose call is it to decide whether this idea is in this container or that container? It's your choice. It's your choice. And this is where this highlights a key point in book writing, and a key point where many people get stuck, is that book writing is a series of micro decisions. Tiny, tiny decisions. Do I tell the story about Uncle Bob and the time he went fishing in the lake for catfish? Or do I hold on to that story and do I tell it in chapter 9? Micro decision. The idea about the time that I went to Mount Fuji. Do I tell that story to illustrate the point of cultural difference or not? It all comes down to micro decisions. And that's why getting good at making decisions is so awesome for book writing, because then you can just decide, you know what, it's going to go in that, it's going to go in that chapter, I'm going to put it in that chapter, I'll put that in that chapter, and this idea can go here. Okay? What I'm saying is, when you go to structure, just make decisions. Group it together. Did you see how quickly I just put them together? You can always change it a little bit if you want. You can change it a lot if you want. But by getting started and grouping them together, you just get off to such a speedy takeoff, which is what we want. So. Let me get an idea from you guys. First of all, where are you at with this? Have you... Alicia says, is someone writing down stuff physically where you are, Dave? No, that's me. It's just me. There's no other people. I want to know from you guys where you're at with this book, with this the structure. Have you laid out? Have you brainstormed your ideas, or have you put it into chunks already? And if you have put it into chunks, how many chunks are you working with? Are you working with 7? Are you working with 8? Are you working with 10? Where are you at? What are you doing? What are you working with? Give me something to play with here. And if you've got specific questions about the structure, put them in now too. Karen says, on post-it notes in my kitchen window. Love that. Because you're kind of grouping the ideas. And that's all a book is, guys. Because once you've got the ideas in a group, then you can just go through and go, all right, does it make sense to do this first, or this, or this, or this? And you can put them in an order. Melissa says, the chapter headings have been sitting on my phone since 2016. Stuck for sure. Ideas haven't... Melissa micro decisions for you, Melissa. So guys, if you're... so Patty Ann says she hasn't created anything yet. That's fine. Guys, if you ever get stuck, like people say, Josh will message later. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, if, they sometimes... I'm just going to see if I can change this angle so I can get all of myself in the frame. People who get stuck, they're not making the micro decisions. Yeah, we have a rule on Book Retreat where if you're writing your book and you haven't... You can't work out the way, and it takes you longer than 60 seconds to work that out, you put your hand up and you have a chat with someone, with one of the coaches. You get help, you get assistance, you get help to make that micro decision. And when you make that micro decision, that's when the momentum rolls, okay? Claire says, 3 parts. First part, what is the 12-minute write, which is her concept. The second part, examples of it. And the third part, exercises. Love it, Claire. Super simple. Just like, hey, this is what this book's about. It's. I'll tell you what it is. We will. We'll give you some examples, and then we'll give you some exercises. Simples. To quote a famous. Just keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. What else have we got? Is anyone else? Jackie Grant says, I have brainstormed my ideas. I'm seeing how the flow... Okay, so Jackie's starting to group her concepts. Yeah, so food, exercise, month by month. That's great. Yeah, guys, what I want to... So to recap this this structure piece... The big one is if you've got a lot of ideas, brainstorm them, get them all out, and then start to group them. Link them together in a way that makes sense. Sticky notes are great. You can use your pad and circle like I did, and start to build containers around them. And from there, what we would do, if we had a bit more time, is we would go into each of the chapters. So let's say we've come up with eight chapters. We'd then go into each one and look at, all right, what are the specifics for each of that chapter? What stories will we tell? What quotes will we share? Will we do any like tangent side pieces of things that we want to say? Is there a methodology that we want to share? Jai, thank you so much. That's where we would take it. All right, how are we doing, guys? We've done a lot of work tonight. I don't know what the time is, but we've been doing awesome stuff. The structure, guys, that's the process for the structure. Now, from that plan, like this is where you would take it. The final three things to look at in terms of actually getting the book into the physical reality after you've got the structure is... What's your identity? What team are you connecting with? And what action are you taking? Now, particularly, I want to talk about that action. From this point forward, you can either you can go off and you can write your book, or for those of you out there that want to, and some of you already have been chatting with me, if you would like to chat with me about how we could help you implement the plan. There's a couple of time spots open to chat with me direct. I think there's a couple tomorrow. There's a couple on Monday. If you would like to do that, we're going to get the link on here very soon. I'm going to see if I can get it on the other screen. But I would encourage you, book in, have a chat with me, and let's see what we can do for you. Because, you know, it's one thing to plan it and have it in your head. It's another thing to make it real. And yeah, Matt Kelly, my very good friend, has just put in the link to the time. So if anyone wants to book in, there's only a couple tomorrow and there's only a couple on Monday. So please check that out and book in now if you would like to chat with me. Guys, I'll just say one thing. I'm the guy you come to when you want it done. So if that's you, like now is lining up. Now is the perfect time. We're moving into spring. And then you'll write it in spring, you'll publish in the summer. It's the absolute prime time, and I would love to speak with you more. So, guys, that wraps up our session today. If you would like me to send you the video of this session, just comment below. We're getting some questions about when is the next retreat. When is the next retreat? Yeah, so next retreat, guys, and maybe Matt Kelly can put this in the comments. Next book retreat is September 3 to 9. So for those people that are just flying out of the gate, please get in touch right away because it's time. Yes, Ashley. So September 3 until 9 is next book retreat, and then October 22 to 28. So if Matt Kelly could put that on, that would be awesome. And guys, if you would like the replay of this video And here's the cool bit, I will also give you the worksheets that we give our clients to work through this process. So you can watch the video and fill out the worksheets as we go. Just comment below with video. If you put video in the comments, I'll know to message you, and then we'll get that to you on the email. So yeah, Matt Kelly's just put it up. Thank you. September 3 to 9, October 22 to 28. If you want to talk with me, the link's also in the comments there. Couple of spots tomorrow, couple of spots Monday. Let's do it. If you want the video of this recording, yes, we're getting some comments through. You'll get the video and the worksheets, so you'll be able to work through it again. Yes, awesome. Thank you, guys. I just want to give you guys as much as possible so that you can get your book out there in the world. Great. So all the video requests are coming through. That's awesome. Guys, I think that's about all. Do you guys have any other questions for me? How else can I help you? What would you like to know? Seeing that coming through. Heidi, Karen, you're very welcome, Karen. Melissa, I've inspired her interest in book writing again. Awesome. Melissa wants the video. Excellent, guys. If you want to jump in and grab a chat with me, there's a couple of spots tomorrow and a couple of spots Monday. Ashley says, I can see why Dane likes you. Yes. She's referring to Dane Thomas, very good friend of mine, written many, many books, including Clear Your Shit, which was a #1 Amazon bestseller on all of Amazon, even beat the sex and erotica and murder mystery books. All right, guys, thank you so much. We're going to end it there. My name's Dave Thompson, as you know. Thank you so much for being here, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Peace out.